Chat. I got another thing to talk about. So there was a lot of things that happened over the weekend, right? Which one of the major things, of course, is TikTok getting banned, right? But another thing that popped up or so, right? Sony was making a God of War live service game, like a spin-off, apparently. Well, actually, that's not even the only one. That's the major one that I heard. But they were making live service games, and apparently they fucking canceled them, which is right here, of course, right? You see it right here in front of me. I don't know what the other live service game is, but I do know about the God of War one, though. I'm like, there's no shot that they were... who would it be? I think it might be the Horizon Zero Dawn one, maybe. I don't know if that got canceled or whatnot, but like... But I want to take a look at it, though. I'm curious.
Okay, everyone, I am back at my hotel room. It is, I don't have my watch. It's like 2 something in the morning here in Quebec. And
this guy's in Quebec? God damn. Sheesh.
I am feeling good. We've had a wonderful day previewing Assassin's Creed Shadows. I'm not allowed to talk about that yet.
Oh, that's the reason why. I'd be curious what he thinks about it, to be honest.
I will be allowed to talk about it on January 23rd, so make sure to subscribe to get notified when that video goes up, because I have thoughts, as I'm sure you can imagine. But
I'd be curious what he thinks about it, actually.
Before that, today in this little video, I wanted to talk about some news that just broke tonight while I was out and about, or today, this afternoon, whatever, time zones are weird. PlayStation has canceled 2 games. Okay, not that shocking, right? Not that stunning.
But
the 2 games they've canceled are from Sony Bend, the guys behind Days Gone, and Bluepoint. Very interesting.
There it is. From Bluepoint. If you guys don't know the development team for Bluepoint, right? For those who don't know, right? So Bluepoint specifically, if I remember correctly, they were the ones that made the Demon Souls and the Shadow of Colossus. Like they basically like kind of like remade these games, right? And apparently, from what I've read or what I've heard specifically, is that they were trying to use Bluepoint Studios to make a live service God of War spin-off game. Let that sink in a little bit. A team development that has no knowledge on that specific forefront, right? Because like if we look at their games, right? So you got Demon Souls, right? You got the Demon Souls remake. You got the Shadow of Colossus remake. You got the entire Nathan Drake collection. You got Gravity Rush. You got Flower. You got Titanfall. The X360 anyways. And then you got PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, apparently. Metal Gear Solid HD Collection. The HD Collection of Shadow of Colossus, which is the old one, of course. And Ico. The God of War Collection. Blast Factor. And that's it. So, from looking at specifically all of these games, straight up, there's not even a single one of these games that is a live service game. I don't know if Blast Factor is a live service game, so I have no idea, to be honest. But literally none of them is literally a live service game. Straight up.
Bluepoint being the guys behind the Demon Souls remake and a lot of other amazing remakes as well. All we've known is that Sony Bend, out of Bend, Oregon, are working on some live service game, some multiplayer game that...
Man, that camera focus is insane, to be honest. Looks like it's focusing the background instead of him.
utilized the amazing systems from Days Gone, the open world systems, maybe the zombie systems. It wasn't really clear. We never heard much about it, but we knew they were working on something like that. And then Blue Point, we just, like, the rumors were they were working on a new IP. That's what everybody was saying.
No, they have no, like, not for live. I'm talking about like live service games, bro. Like online games is different. They don't know, like their knowledge for live service games is not that great compared to like Call of Duty, compared to EA's fucking loot box, fucking crazy things. So
all the rumors were saying they were working on a new IP. They were working on something fresh, something new, not a remake. And Jason Schreier just reported that both of their games are canceled, and that Blue Point's game was, and you're gonna think I'm joking, but this is very
here it
serious
is.
and totally legitimate. This is what he's saying. Blue Point was working on a God of War live service game.
So remember when we talked about that Sony was working on like what was it, like 12 live service games or something like that? I don't know. It was some like huge number of like live service games. And then half of them are gone. Well, 2 of them was released and 1 of them died. And now another 2 more live service games are dead. And 1 of them was a God of War spin-off live service game. That's crazy. Who the fuck wants a live service God of War game? What's the point?
A God of War live service spin-off game.
You know, you want to know how I'm feeling right now? You guys want to know how I'm feeling right now? Where's that cat meme? This is literally straight up me right now. This is literally me looking over at Sony headquarters right now, and like literally, what the fuck be happening over there? Like straight up, what are you guys doing over there? Man, dude. How the mighty have fucking fallen, to be honest. Holy shit, dude. It's not that hard to make good games, Sony. God lord, man. Holy shit, man. Oh my god, man. I thought, fuck, man. Whatever, man. Whatever.
I'm at a loss for words, frankly. I mean, I'm gonna pace. Okay, so forgive me. I'm gonna pick up my camera and pace. Part of this is because, little spoiler, I already filmed this video. I filmed it for like 20 something minutes, and then I realized I never pressed record because it's 2 in the morning and my brain is fried. So I'm just gonna ramble and pace as we go through this. There's multiple ways to tackle this because it's so insane, but initial thoughts are, how on earth did they ever think this was a good idea? I mean, Blue Point, masters of the remake, Demon Souls.
Yeah, they made remasters. That's what they've done for most of their fucking shit, you know? Or ports or something, you know? But like making them do a live service game? It's like asking the studio who made what's the name of that vampire game or so? I forgot the name of that vampire game that they did or so. Redfall. It's like literally asking that specific studio, who are mostly a single player focused studio, and tell them, hey, I need you to go do a fucking like first person FPS live service Call of Duty clone, you know? It's like, it's the what? It's not even possible.
Phenomenal. Everything else they did was fantastic. And so they acquire Blue Point. They're like, yes, welcome to the family. We're going to let you do something amazing. What does Herman Holst and Jim Ryan, what do they give Blue Point to work on? They give them a live service God of War spin-off game? What? Like, who thought that was a good idea? I cannot think of a single person who would have heard that pitch and said,
oh man, dude. If this actually would have been released, holy shit, this would have been a massive flop for Sony. If this was actually still continuing and being developed, ooh, it would not just be bad for Sony, but it would also be bad for the studio as well.
That's a good
And it's
idea.
not even their fucking fault either. It's literally people at Sony fucking headquarters that's doing those stupid ass decision makings of making these live service games for no apparent reason. I'm like, who's asking for this? Who the fuck is asking for a live service God of War game? Who?
Yeah. You know, I remember talking to Joel Raptor on the podcast about the potential of an Atreus spin-off game, how that maybe made sense, because they signal it a lot in the ending of God of War Ragnarok that he's going to go off, have his own adventures, he's going to do his own thing. Kratos is like, be your old man, you can do this, and, you know, said stuff like that that pretty clearly to me signaled that they were going to do some sort of secondary adventure with Atreus.
I
And
wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest, for something like that.
now it seems that that secondary adventure, that spin-off adventure, was going to be a
It's
live...
because the only problem is that Xbox is not even doing anything right now, unfortunately. They kind of lost the console race and kind of lost the whole point of like Xbox being there is to fucking smack Sony across the face to get their shit correct, you know. But hey, man, as long as people vote with their wallets and don't even bother, you know, don't even bother buying these specific games, it'll hurt Sony in the long run.
service, co-op, or multiplayer game from Bluepoint, the masters of the single-player remake. I mean, it's so out of pocket. It's so not what they should have been doing.
Yeah.
That it boggles the mind, frankly.
It wastes development time for other projects. It wastes their time. It wastes their money and their talent as well. So it's kind of like, what are you guys doing, Sony? What the fuck are you guys doing?
I mean, it really is bizarre. And it's another example of PlayStation going and giving a very capable studio a task for which they were wholly unequipped
Exactly.
to handle. And that is going to a single player expert studio that specializes in that and then asking them to make a live service game that they...
We had that same problem too with Redfall, the studio of Redfall. I forgot the studio that made Redfall or so. They were the ones that made Dishonored. They were the ones that did like single player games, and then fucking Microsoft told them, "Hey, can make us a live service game." And I'm just like, what? I was like, what? They're not capable of doing that. And that's why a lot of people left the studio because of it. You know, it's fucking Bluepoint. Bluepoint was gonna fall down too if this game was gonna continue, you know? If they would have kept developing this game, you know, oh, straight up that the Bluepoint would have been shut down. It wouldn't surprise me or something. Because you know how Sony is, you know, they love shutting down studios.
They just have no experience, no know-how in, and then they act shocked when that doesn't work out. I mean, Naughty Dog is another fantastic example where they are an amazing world-class single-player studio, and they get tasked with making The Last of Us Factions, a massive online game. They work on it for 4+ years, going on 5 years if you count the development during The Last of Us Part 2's development cycle. And after...
He's the glasses dude, right? The white hair glasses dude or so. Looks like kind of like a bit of a zombie or so. That he was like kind of like flopping around about the PS5 Pro or so, right? Is that him? I forgot who it is to me. I don't really look at who CEOs are, to be honest. Hey, Death.
All of that, they cancel it, dump all of that work, give up on it, walk away from it for nothing, because they realize that if they were to see it all the way through, it would result in like the studio not being able to make single player games again or something. But they just realized it wasn't worth the trouble, and so they move on. They give up on it and walk away. I mean, it's unbelievable that they would realize this 4 years in, 5 years in, that, oh, maybe these guys aren't going to be that great at this type of game. Maybe this doesn't work. I mean, it really is bizarre. But the other part...
I'd be curious how long that game has been in development, to be honest. I'd be very curious.
This, that perhaps is good news, is that these cancellations mark yet more doors shutting in this live service era of PlayStation. The Jim Ryan era of PlayStation was one almost entirely defined by the pursuit of live service dollars. At the time that they greenlit it, they didn't think it would be at the expense of single-player games. The goal was to double the spending on games, but spend that extra money on live service stuff. So you get all the single-player stuff you love, but then also you get a ton of live service stuff in those same IP and that you know and love, but made by those same studios you know and love. Easy, fantastic. You just give them more money, they hire more people, they pump out more games. Sounds easy, right? But it didn't work out like that. They learned very quickly, but they didn't react to it or act on the lesson quickly at all, that you cannot take a single player studio
Yep.
and have them make a world-class live service game.
Look at Xbox. Look at Xbox right now, man. How Redfall destroyed a fucking studio, man. That's crazy. We're gonna have that incident repeat all over again with Blue Point.
It doesn't work. Like, you can't take a world-class single-player studio and have them make a world-class live service game that takes on Fortnite. It doesn't work. They're different talent sets, they're different devs, they're different designs. I mean, it's just a different thing. And they should have realized that very quickly. I mean, frankly, they should have realized that before they greenlit these projects, but they didn't. They should have learned it later, within the first year or two, but they didn't act on it until 3, 4, 5 years had passed.
Yeah.
And hundreds of millions of dollars were flushed down the drain. And I know some people
And
say, well,
Sony definitely loves to burn money, don't they? Hey, yo, Sony. I'm just saying, Sony. Hey, man, if you wanna waste money, you know, just spend it on me, man. Just donate it to me, and promise you, man, it will go to a better cause than you spending money on some of these studios and how you burn money, to be honest. But yeah, like I said, it's crazy, to be honest. It is probably the most craziest thing to hear.
well, it's not totally flushed down the drain. You know, they did R&D, they hired people, they paid those employees during that time. That's where the money went in large.
They probably just like they probably just wrote it off, you know. They just wrote it off, you know, on their like tax form, you know. Just like, yeah, just write it off, just write it off, you know. Just write it off. It doesn't count, you know.
Part, so it wasn't totally a waste. And sure, I mean, you can explain it away that way, but either way, that is money and time that could have been spent on projects that had a future, that could be successcable, that could see the light.
Shit, they could have remade fucking Sly, bro. They could have remade Sly Cooper, man. I'm just saying, man. They could have brought back Sly Cooper games with that studio. I'm just saying.
When these live service games frankly never stood a chance, because a bad idea will always be a bad idea. It doesn't matter how well executed the bad idea is. If it's a bad idea, it's just not gonna work. You know, I like, as well executed as you could possibly do it, Concord was always doomed to be just forgettable and unremarkable, because it was an unremarkable idea. I mean, from the outset, the concept just wasn't good.
No, the character designs were not good. You know, it's just kind of like, yeah, you can have the best graphics in the entire world, but you can't cover shit, though. It's still shit. You know, it didn't really interest me, to be honest. On like a hero shooter, I was like, oh my god, dude.
It wasn't good enough to be successful, and so it didn't matter how good the execution was. It was never going to find the success it needed to. And that's kind of where PlayStation has found themselves, where they have a lot of these projects working, and they're not that good of concepts. I mean, they weren't that great of ideas, and they're just now canceling stuff and moving on. And, you know, the God of War live
just cancel all your goddamn live service games, to be honest, at this point, man. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. At least keep fucking Helldivers. At least that's fucking doing well, at least, you know. But fuck, man, all these other ones that you're thinking of right now with the God of War, I wouldn't be surprised if they make some kind of like spin-off for Horizon Zero Dawn live service game. If they do, fucking cancel that shit. Nobody ain't gonna play that shit. God Lord.
Service game being a great example. Like, who thought that was a good idea? I do not know. I mean,
it's still doing pretty well with Helldivers. I know they killed it off, but they're still doing pretty well, though.
At this point, we're never going to see the game, most likely, unless it leaks in some crazy way.
Unless it's actually dying right now.
Maybe the concept they had, maybe the gameplay they had was so good that it actually could have been great.
I doubt it.
So good, I think we would have seen it.
I doubt it.
The light of day. So that brings me to kind of what all of this is building up to, which is that maybe the good news is that this marks the end of this PlayStation live service era.
Kill it.
Because with these couple of cancellations, they've now canceled, I believe, 8 or 9 of the live service games.
Yeah.
12 live service games they have.
See, I had it correct. See, I told you, Chad. 12 live service games, man. I know they canceled like half of it too as well. And then like they just canceled 2 today, which is crazy.
In the works.
And then Concord died as well. So I think that's 9. I think that's definitely 9 live service games.
Just a couple of years ago. And their goal was to get these 12 live service games out in the next like 3-4 years.
What? Excuse me? Can you repeat that again?
And their goal was to get these 12 live service games out in the next like 3-4 years.
Oh, you cannot be serious. You actually cannot be serious, dude. 12 live service games. Half of them are dead. Half of them are canceled because of the someone from Sony from Japan or so said that they canceled half of them, if I remember correctly. And then you have Concord, which died, which that makes 7. You had 2 other ones, which was the God of War and this, whatever the second one was. That's 9. That's 9. You have Helldivers, which is successful. That means they have 2 other live service games specifically still being in the works. So they have 2 live service games still being in the works. I think one of them is the money. It's that money bank robber game, I think, if I remember correctly. That's one of them that's being worked on right now. And I don't know what the other one is, to be honest. Steal, and I know it's like the slogan was like steal from the rich or something and give it to the poor or something like that. I have fucking no idea, to be honest. Yeah, Marathon is from Bungie, so I don't know what the other live service game it is, but I'd be curious what is the other live service that Sony is making. The Last of Us, no, they canceled it. They canceled the multiplayer for that game
at the time that they made these announcements. And now that all of those are canceled, the only ones remaining that I can think of at 2 in the morning in my hotel room are Fair Game $, Marathon.
Is this from Sony? No, this is not from Sony. This is from Bungie. Is it not? Let's see. Hold on. Oh, can't spell. Yeah, it's literally, so the ones that they have right now in development right now is Fair Game, which is that one studio that's working on. There is a fucking Horizon live service game. Oh shit, man. Oh shit. Horizon, wait, hold on a second. What? So a Horizon live service Guerrilla Games, Marathon, Bungie, and a Horizon. Wait, they're making 2 live services for Horizon? There's no way they're making 2 live services for Horizon Zero Dawn. There's no way, dude. No. a Horizon. It's literally they're making two Horizon Zero Dawn live service games. Oh my god, dude, you can't be serious with me, dude. You actually cannot be serious with me. I thought I read this wrong. No, it's literally two different Horizon games. One of them is an MMO for some apparent reason. Oh man, dude. Oh man. Oh man, dude. Wow. Yeah, Horizon's not being received very well too. It's like, what the fuck, man? They made that Lego game and it's not even doing fucking. Oh my god, Jesus Christ. Oh man, I don't know what be happening over there at Sony, man.
That's still out there, and the Horizon live service game, and there might be one more, but I can't think of it. I mean, if Herman is just shutting down these two other studios' games to...
We need more Horizon. I propose Horizon, gotcha.
Like, free up more cash for the Horizon game, I'm gonna find that really funny if that ends up failing. You know, the green lighting of Fair Game $, and keeping that afloat while canceling Blue Point's game and Sony Ben's game. That's interesting to me because I think Fair Game $, looks like a game called Fair Game $, which I think is all you need to hear about it. But if they're just trying to free up capital, this is going to do that. And, you know, we'll see in the next year how those games turn out. But after all of these have fallen off and they're left with just a few, I don't know if there's another way to interpret it than PlayStation is kind of cutting their losses with the live service games. Because for years, the strategy was
That's
put the live service
crazy.
stuff out and hope it does well. And if it doesn't, oh well, we lose money. But we just need one hit to pay for all of the failures. But now they're canceling all of them before they even try, which tells you either they're just strategically shifting completely, or those games really were so bad that they were like, this isn't gonna work.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Blue Point one was not actually really good, to be honest, because they're just only like a remastered single player type of game they do, you know. So,
or they're just realizing, you know what, we can make a lot more money having Blue Point finally do that Bloodborne remake and Sony Bend do a Days Gone 2 mini spin-off or whatever, compared to having them do live service stuff that's gonna flop. And
true.
it sucks that, you know, they have to waste 4+ years of dev time, but, you know, I guess better...
Wait, they wasted 4 years on this? Wow, dude. That is such a waste of fucking time and money, dude. Holy shit, dude. That's pretty bad, dude. Damn, dude, that is pretty bad.
late than never, but it really is just remarkable. You know, I'm actually here at this event with Joel Raptor. He's here as part of it. He's here in Quebec. And when this news popped, we talked about it because we had talked about this on the podcast on Luke Stevens Live. And one of my predictions for 2025 was that I think there's a really good chance that Herman Holst is gone by the end of this year as co-CEO, because I mean, maybe it's unreasonable of me, but I would think there's got to be some threshold where there's a certain number of billions of dollars that you lose,
yeah,
that disqualifies you from your position.
Yeah.
You know, at some point, is it $3 billion wasted? Is it $4 billion? Is it $5 billion wasted? Like, at some point, you are the one to blame. And for him, like, I understand Jim Ryan made a lot of these decisions. I understand it's not as simple as Herman Holst did all of this. You know, I get it. But he's the one at the helm. I mean, he is the one steering the ship right now, and he has been in a position of serious leadership for this whole generation.
Hey man, Sony, if you need help, just come talk to me, okay? My DMs are open. You can send me a message on Twitter. Look, man, if you guys need help on how to make games, or where to spend your money at to make actual games, just come talk to me, okay? I got you, okay? Shit, man, you don't have to pay me, bro. All right, you don't have to pay me for this. I'll help you out for free, bro. Free for free, bro. Well, I'll be the consultation, bro. You know how like Sweet Baby Ink is a thing, right? You know, I'll be the consultation for you guys, bro. I won't even charge you, bro. I can easily help you guys out to make money. All right? Because apparently you guys can't seem to do jack shit all over there to I'm just saying, you know.
Recently, but in a position of serious leadership. He was, I believe, the studio.
Man, that'd be crazy. The first VTuber CEO of Sony would go hard, to be honest. Ah, yes. Sunako Nyaru becomes CEO of PlayStation. First VTuber.
Studios or something like that. I forget his exact title, but he was in a very serious position before he was promoted recently as well. And at some point, you would think the leadership should suffer some consequences.
Yeah, of course.
For horrible decisions and greenlighting projects that never stood a chance and wasting billions of dollars. And
dude, I would literally make Bluepoint like remaster like old IPs, which Sly Cooper is one of them, you know? Because that franchise needs to come back at least, because you got fucking Ratchet and Clank coming back. Why not just bring back Sly Cooper? Why not Jack and Daxter? You know? You can literally have Bluepoint remaster those old ass games and bring them back, you know? I'm like, it's not hard, bro. Like, straight up.
Don't believe me that it's billions. I mean, just the Bungie deal, which has been a disaster, was like 3.7 billion. And Marathon might be okay. It might even be pretty successful. But is it 3?
I'm not gonna play it because is this an extraction shooter, or is this like or is this a battle royale game? I forgot what this was, to be honest. It's been like a while since I've heard anything about Marathon. Now those are dead games. We need more Last of Us and Horizon remaster. Yeah, an extraction. Oh, if it's an extraction game, I'm not gonna play it, to be honest. It's not really my cup of tea. So I don't like extraction shooter games.
$0.7 billion successful? I don't think so, personally. Fair game dollar sign? Maybe that makes money, but I think we'd all be surprised.
I don't know about that one, to be honest. I don't know if the fair game was not received very well during the what was it? I think it came out during, I think it was like announced during the Summer Game Fest of last year, I think. It was definitely not received very well, to be honest.
Horizon game maybe does pretty well, who knows?
No. It's not. The MMO and whatever other live service Horizon game they're gonna work on, it's not gonna do well.
But just like Concord, that's another allegedly $400 million. These games from Sony Bend and Bluepoint, each of those probably represents $150, $200 million in wasted, maybe not that much, maybe each 100 million or something like that, but still hundreds of millions of dollars of wasted time and money and resources. Yep. And I mean, just there, you're over $4 billion on wasted ventures that have gone nowhere. Like at some point, you'd think the buck would end with the person in charge, but somehow Herman has continued to be promoted. And
wow,
he's very, very impressively failing upwards. So
Jesus.
All of this to say, I mean, I'm rambling at this point because I'm baffled by it. But all of this to say, I think this most likely is an instance or an example of PlayStation making a strategic shift away from the live service games that they consider to be too risky.
They better.
They consider to be too expensive and with low return potential, low ROI potential.
Bro, just look at what Marvel Rivals is doing, bro. The way how they're doing live service is the right way how to do it, bro. Like straight up, honestly. Bro, it's not that hard to make a live service game. It's just Western devs are just too greedy, you know? They're just too greedy. They just want money. I wouldn't say Western devs. I just said like the suits, the Western suits, I should say. I think that's a little bit more better. The Western suits want more money, you know? They're just too greedy, bro. They're just too greedy. They just want more money for their like, for their gold yacht or so they can join, you know, Riku Tazumi from Niji Sanji out on the fucking Pacific Ocean, you know? I'm just saying.
And they're just shifting back to what they know and what has proven to work. And that pretty clearly is remakes, remasters, sequels.
Ugh, I don't know about having a shit ton of remasters and remakes, to be honest. I don't know.
And PC ports. I think that's going to be the bread and butter throughout the rest of this generation. I think you'll see far fewer risks than you might be expecting beyond what we've already seen announced, like Wolverine and the new Naughty Dog IP, stuff like that, which of course they'll see through. But I think when it comes to taking risks, PlayStation is done for now. We'll still see the Horizon game. It should be done by this point, and so I think we see that probably by the end of 2025. We'll see.
Really? It's actually like pretty much almost done? If it's gonna be announced, it'll have to be announced either a Sony State of Play or during the Summer Game Fest. It's gonna be one of those two.
See Fair Game $sign at some point. Marathon is going to have playtests and previews in 2025, so we'll see more of that. But for new risks, new IP, new crazy stuff, I think we're at an end there, and live service stuff is just too risky for them, and I think they're done with it. So it's crazy. It's a crazy story.
That's
crazy
crazy.
development, but I'm here for it. 2025, who would have guessed it would start so crazy? But here we are. I'm gonna go to bed because it's late. It's 2 a.m.
Dude, that's crazy to hear this. Oh my god, I did not knew that Horizon is getting 2 live service games. 2! Who the fuck wants this? Who the fuck is asking for a Horizon live service game? Sony is cooking. Time to get a PS5 Pro. Man, dude, that shit's about to be a paperweight in a second. God, Lord, a God of War live service game, dude. That's crazy, to be honest, to be hearing that. Especially like the worst part about it is from Blue Point Studios that was basically making it, which makes no sense whatsoever, dude. Dude, if it actually would have came out, it probably would have flopped really hard, and then we probably would have saw Blue Point Studios get shut down. That would have been the most craziest thing to hear, but oh man, dude. Anyways, yeah, that's the end of the video. You guys can comment, like, subscribe, do all that fancy jazzy stuff. Bro, hearing these video game newses and everything, dude, because I love video games. I eventually want to get my own studio. I eventually want to, you know, make a video game, show it, you know, send it out there to my fan base, you know, to my community, and be like, I want them to be proud of me and be like, yeah, my mama VTuber made a fucking video game and it's fucking awesome, you know? That's what I want to do. I want to make great games, you know, because I know how to tell good stories, you know? But yeah, man, that's crazy. That is just crazy to fucking see. Anyways, that's the end of the video, and I guess I'll go make myself a live service game, and peace.